Welcome back to another episode of Stay on Target. I'm your host, Dustin. Thanks for being here with you. Thanks for being here with me, with you.
Wow.
I'm glad you're here with us tonight. We got a great pre-show. We like to call this our Pre-Soka. It's the pre-show. It's the Ahsoka pre-show. We're pre-soaking in the Ahsoka pre-show. We're going to have a lot of the fun just chatting with you guys. Just starting off right off the bat, if you guys have questions or speculation, throw them in the chat, and we will try to get to them as quickly as possible. But before we go any further, Dan is with us. What's up, Dan?
What's up, people? How you doing? I'm looking at the right camera this time. I'm at the big boy table. I'm not at the child table, and I got a promotion.
You have graduated to the big boy table.
I have finally graduated to the big boy table. I'm so excited to be here talking Ahsoka on the Pre-Soka show.
Pre-Soka show. Yes, we have so many words.
I'm pumped, and everybody's saying, by the way, my main man Dustin looking clean, says Hunter.
Thanks, man.
And Ellie noticed that you had a haircut. Maybe
I did. I got a little trim. And yeah, looking a little cleaner, thankfully. You know?
Was there more to the story?
No. That's it. That's all. That's all the story is. That's gonna be fun.
I got in a lightsaber fight and lost. Just grazed my head though, so it cleaned it up for me. Appreciate it. Also, we have with us tonight the one, the only, the fact checker. Say hello to the good people out there.
Hey, everybody out there. I didn't copy you this time.
Yeah, I was waiting.
Close.
I was like, is she gonna do it?
I have to change it up. I need to come up with something different.
You got to come up with your own taglines.
I know, I do. The librarian has a really good one.
She does have a good one.
Yeah, it's good.
We
stuff.
all got good ones. I'm sure everybody in the chat's got good ones.
Oh,
What's
they
everybody?
do.
Who's all with us tonight? Let us know in the chat. Say hello.
All kinds of good people in the chat tonight. We got V Stuff and Things.
What's up, V?
Kirsten Allen.
Fact
classic. Checker. Hunter Davis, of course.
Oh, the Sith Apprentice himself.
KG.
What's up, KG?
Ellie Blair. Did I say that already? Ellie Blair's here. Allie Howard Species.
Nice. Hey, what's up?
Major prediction. Nobody will fall in love with anybody in this show. Before we even go there. Dropping it.
Oh,
hot
right
takes in the chat.
Oh, my goodness. We got Tayhawk. We got Zarhimoto. What's up, everybody? Breemu.
Yeah.
What's that? Psych Motor's here. What's up, Psych Motor?
GT
Iñaki.
Gavin's here.
And
Icy Stormy.
Icy Storm. Man, we got a lot of good.
Inyaki's here.
I did not yet. I was going to say, hey, we have the moderators, twins on target, Hannah Roll, and also Night Sky. So thank you, moderators. You guys rock. We appreciate you so much. And be nice to them in the comments. Otherwise, they will kick you out.
Also, if you have any questions, I believe the fact checker and the moderators are up on all the Star Wars details. So if you have any questions Star Wars related and we don't get to it right away, they will answer it. And they have facts.
They do have facts, man. They hardly even need us here. We're just talking heads at this point.
And we are just talking heads. Speaking of talking heads, did you introduce the last member of the crew?
I did not. I got scared to introduce him because you never know which way he's going to go with things. But last but definitely not least, Vades. What's up, Vades, man? How you doing tonight?
Seems like he's doing pretty good. He's sitting up straight. He
looks
rocking
more
in his
attentive.
Chair. Yeah, he seems to be happy to be here. I
Almost
think.
surprised.
Yeah, maybe he's just slightly bemused.
I think he's just excited that everybody else in the chat is here with us. It looks like he's watching the chat for us. Thanks, Vades. We appreciate that. And
keep an eye on that.
Yeah, before we go any further, just so you guys know, Nick and Matt aren't able to make it here tonight. They might not be able to make every show, but you got us, and they're doing awesome things, and they'll be back as soon as they can come back. So wish them well in the comments. But yeah, let's get on to things. We got a lot to get through. We're going to keep cranking, baby.
Only 58 minutes till Ahsoka, episode 3.
Episode 3. So many things to discuss, so many things to talk about. Before we even get into that, don't forget to always like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your frenemies about us. Because I got the tagline here. I got the
You got the tagline?
All right. Because with all of us together, we can make Star Wars better. All right? That's my tagline. We're throwing that one in now. We got Bizmo in the chat.
Oh, man, that's
What's
good.
up, Biz?
It's lit now, bro.
Now it's a party.
Oh, man, it's definitely a party. We got everybody here. It's a good crowd. People are excited to watch Ahsoka. They're tuned in. They're just getting their final thoughts out there, the predictions,
Oh
right?
man, we got lots. There's so much speculation going on.
It's 54 minutes now.
54
wow,
minutes.
time
We
flies
got
when you're having
Dan's
fun.
counting down. Don't you worry. He's gonna let
How
you
many
know.
hours? How many minutes?
How many weeks, Dan? How many negative
many
weeks do we
seconds?
have?
I'm the countdown man.
He's
Apparently,
gonna
I
go
don't
to
even
seconds here
realize.
soon. No, but yeah, we got a lot to get into. Before we get into that, even we're gonna get right into our icebreaker. We got some other show things to talk about. But we're gonna just jump into the icebreaker. We got to get into it. All right?
Yeah, let's ask.
All right. So the icebreaker for tonight. This is how we break the ice. Okay, here on Hoth. Where would you rather be stabbed with a lightsaber? All right, starting off the gate.
Oh boy!
You know, there's a lot of controversy. There's a lot of talk about this, and I thought, you know what? That sounds like a great icebreaker for tonight. Why not get everybody mad about it?
I'm just of course, it's the most divisive thing of episode 1.
Yeah. Episode 1/2.
Yeah, the continuation of my favorite.
Which actually, before we go into that, just there will be spoiler warning here for episode 1 and 2. If you have not seen episode 1 and 2, we are going to be spoiling it. So just fair warning right there. All right. So, all right, continue, Dan. Sorry.
So it looks like there's quite a few answers in here. Do you want me to give my take?
Yeah. Let's.
Where would you want to get stabbed?
Hey, no. We can hit the chat first. They're answering quick,
Yeah.
so let's get to them and then we'll give our takes.
I mean, Bismo said in the liver.
In the liver,
In the
I
liver.
think he had even a video about that.
Yeah, it's a clever answer.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. If you haven't checked that out, you don't need your liver either, do you? Like you can live off one. You can liver off
You
one.
don't.
You can
You only
liver off
have
one.
one.
I saw
You only have one liver?
Yes, you're thinking long.
I'm thinking
You're thinking
kidneys.
kidneys.
Kidney. Oh,
Shoot. Okay.
I'm thinking that we are not doctors here.
Human anatomy is not my
Okay,
strong
yes.
suit. Star Wars.
Star Wars
Yeah.
is Star Wars human anatomy.
Star Wars. I know more about alien species than I do about human anatomy. That's
He
kinda
says
bad.
he said liver though, so he could quit drinking apple juice.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean,
What?
Yeah.
I know what he means. Bismo, you're funny, Biz.
You're funny, Biz. No, he even did a video on it. I just want to say,
Yeah.
go check out that video. That was a
Yeah,
good video.
it
I
was.
liked his take on it.
It was funny, too.
100% with everything in that, because I got to throw a little bit of shade at Biz every once in a while. You know, keep it hot, keep it spicy between our relationship.
Oh wow.
But
What?
but yeah, and also before we even move on, if you'd like, right after this, definitely go and watch Bismo's.
He's not doing one tonight.
Oh, he's not. Oh shoot, I totally missed that.
Oh,
He usually does one. Okay.
But usually after he does a watch party.
Yeah, when he does the watch party, go and watch it with him. Okay, that's what I'm saying, and watch
Yeah.
all his other videos. He's had some great takes on episode 1 and 2. So
Yep.
definitely go check it out. He's a good friend of ours. So
So good.
what's everybody saying in the chat though for this?
Well,
I know
we had liver. We had
liver.
Yeah. Let's see. Night Sky, go ahead. Fact checker.
Hunter right in the head, which is a little depressing. I don't know.
Get it over with.
I think he's joking.
Yeah,
'cause
probably,
That's what
yeah.
Hunter does.
He's a joker.
No, he's a Sith apprentice.
Oh,
Where
well,
else?
true.
well, they
you know,
always joke, don't they?
Yeah, I mean,
they're all full of them,
I
right?
feel like Sith
Yeah.
apprentices usually get cut in half and then come back to life.
Yeah,
Well, there you go.
that is
So
a frequent
That's the
happening.
plan.
Which is kind of funny in some ways that we don't have as much of a problem with that we do with her getting stabbed
That's
in the
true.
liver.
Wait, this is going all wrong.
Yeah.
Like Maul got cut in half and he came back and we're like, yes.
Well-
but at least they I feel like they handled that in a way better way. You know, like at least they were like, he went crazy nuts. He only survived off the Force. That's the other thing too.
You're
Because
right.
the dark side of the
His
Force
hate,
is hate. And that's how he just hung on and the Force like sustained him and he went
True.
insane from it. And they had to like pull him back from the brink. So it kind of made more sense to me, to be honest. But
That's
anyway,
true.
sorry, we got more.
So yeah, then Kirsten said the eyes, which okay,
Oh, like a Kanan situation.
There you go.
that makes sense.
I can
okay.
see that.
Yep.
Because
And
Kanan could see even afterward, yeah.
Then Luke said kidney, preferably the left one. Very specific.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
That's probably the lesser of the two
The
evils.
lesser of the two kidney evils.
Yeah. Oh, and Kirsten said swipe right with the lightsaber across my eyes. So I think
like
I
that.
mean,
might
I
have
like
seen
that.
the short.
What else are you gonna do but swipe right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, shameless plug here. If you haven't yet, go check out our short. It was hilarious. Dan put that together beautifully, and it was hilarious when he even said it.
It was a
live.
real moment, man. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
swipe
if you're gonna
right.
get stabbed, you know, or if you're gonna do the stabbing of a saber and you want to like finish someone off,
Right.
this is just go look. It's got the rule book there.
It's in the rules.
It's in the rule book.
They're more like guidelines.
But it's fun.
What's
Yeah.
that from? Name that reference. All right, sorry. Well, keep
well,
going.
and then speaking of shorts, actually, KG called out, "Oh my, OMG, is that a Loth Kitty?"
Yes.
Yeah, it
references
is.
maybe another short.
We do have a
can't see it.
Lothcat.
Yeah,
I think it's pronounced Lothcat.
Oh, sorry.
Lothcat.
It's a happy one too. It's a happy loth.
And also, if you haven't seen that short, that is hilarious as well.
Yes.
It freaked me out the first time I saw it, and it made me laugh.
I was just-
And went crazy on that one.
That was so fun. You're turning you into a
Oh
cat.
my gosh, I was like, what in the heck did I
The
just
best part,
watch?
and Matt. I mean,
My eyes.
it's just classic. This is the stuff we get out of the Star Wars shows. Like everybody else gives you high quality stuff, we give you like random kittens and swiping right
And marriage.
and marriage. I mean, this is what you. I mean, this is what they come to expect, right?
Yeah.
This is why
Stay
they
on
tune in to
target.
stay on target because we have no idea what we're doing.
Expect the unexpected.
But you will expect absolutely,
Expect
and
the
you will have
unexpected.
so many funny taglines that you'll be saying to your friends, and they'll be like, "What are you
Yeah.
talking about?"
And then they'll have to tune in. That's the good thing. That's how you spread stay on target. Like a disease.
Like a disease.
I said
Oh,
that.
no.
It was
Oh, no.
terrible. Okay.
Better than
All
a
right,
fire.
moving
but-
on.
Let's keep moving on. We
Yeah.
haven't given our answers. Let's give our answers real quick here, Danny.
I saw somebody say in the shoulder. I would probably take shoulder
Yeah, shoulder shot
because
would be good.
you know I could probably maybe come back from that. My favorite
Yeah.
movie, Princess Bride, got stabbed in the shoulder.
Oh man, you should have referenced it and then had them guess what it
I
was.
should have.
That's okay.
But yeah, I mean
You're in
that's
the big boy chair, table. It's hard to remember these things when you're in the big boy.
I'm technically in Nick's seat, although Matt was
Actually,
here last week, so I don't know how to act.
The funny thing though is like, no, you're usually the one flying the ship.
Yeah.
So if anything, this is the kids' table, and you.
Oh yeah, I'm in the.
You're in the big boy seat.
That's right. I came down to the kids' table
Came
tonight.
down to the kids' table to be with us.
But who's flying the ship? That's the question.
That is the question.
Vader.
That's what I
He's
was
using the
thinking.
force every once in a while. A little
Yeah.
twitch.
Sonia did say that she wanted to say hi to Vader.
All right.
So,
He
hi.
appreciates that.
I think he
you know?
does. I think he feels like he's left out too much.
He does.
This whole Ahsoka show's happening, and he hasn't shown up yet.
I know.
I
He's.
haven't even mentioned him.
I think that's why he's given us so much of the quiet treatment during this, is just because he's upset that he's not in it. And we've been really trying to console him behind the scenes. That's why we thought to bring him on to give him a little bit of airtime out there, so he feels a little less left out.
Yeah.
So he's really working through some stuff. You go get him, Vades. Though you go get him.
Take
man.
care of him,
They see-
Vader.
They see you. They see you.
They
It's
see-
okay.
Another happy landing, says
Another-
Icy Stormy.
another happy landing. All right, what about you, fact checker? What about you? Where would you like to be stabbed?
Yeah. Okay.
Diseases and stabbings.
Yeah. This
Yeah. Oh.
We're not off to a great
like
start.
Tehak said earlier, what is happening? I think, I don't know, I would go with like my pinky toe because you don't need it, right?
Yeah,
Just like your liver.
I guess.
I mean-
I mean,
it helps with balance.
does it help with balance?
Does
It does actually help with balance, I believe. The pinky toe.
Prove it.
Okay.
Cut off
Give me
the
your
toe.
pinky toe. Slide.
I mean, I know that like when your toe gets stubbed, it's hard to walk. So I don't know
You knew that from
from real
experience.
life experience, but I've never chopped off my toe. So,
Yeah, that's a good point.
but
I had a teacher once that had like her big toe was chopped off.
ooh, wow, Oh,
Yeah, that was a rough one
that is a rough one.
for her. I'm assuming. I mean, it wasn't funny. I'm not trying to make a
Wow.
joke out of it, but it got weird.
But Hunter says the pinky toe is essential for balance and stubbing it on corners.
Yeah.
So those are
Yes.
the two uses for
Yeah.
the pinky toe.
That's how
Yeah,
Hunter
that's a
knows
good
that.
answer though.
Hunter knows that because that's his main attack when it comes to Sith apprentices. Go for the pinky toe.
For the pinky
Oh
toe.
my goodness.
It totally throws him off. It just discombobulates him. Easy stab to the head after that.
yeah. I mean, that's true.
Swipe right, baby. Swipe right. For me, for some reason I was thinking like if it's gonna be like less fatal, I would say like either just chop off a limb is what I was thinking. I don't know what limb I'd want chopped off though. I'm right-handed, so I'd like to keep my right hand. Probably like left-handed because in the Star Wars galaxy you could get like a sweet replacement that's like even stronger, and you could do a lot of cool stuff with it. I don't know, man. I think that'd be pretty cool. Unless you could get like bionic legs and be like faster and jump higher.
Kind of like Maul.
Like Maul? I wouldn't want the spider legs. That'd be weird.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But then he got the two bionics. He was walking as a bipedal.
Right.
So I don't know how they figured that one out, but it worked better for the show. Probably easier to animate.
It was through
Oh, the Dathomir, the Night Sisters.
Night Sister magic,
Ooh,
which is a great tie-in here,
it's
man.
a great
It's
tie-in.
a great tie. I think everybody in the chat though, you guys all had great answers. Thank you
Yeah.
for answering that question.
And
It's a goofy one.
Ellie Blair just said, Dustin, are you okay?
No.
No.
The answer is always no. But we're getting through it. I see you, Vades. I see you, Vades. No, we're good. We're having fun, man. It's a good night. I'm just pumped to see the show. I'm really hoping it's going to be great. I have a lot of mixed feelings even right now, and we can just jump into it right now.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of mixed feelings because I thought episode 1 and 2 were good. They just weren't great for me. Okay, I definitely had some negative qualms, and it was still positive for the most part.
Okay.
The stab threw me off, but it's still believable for the more I've thought about it. I'm like, okay, but it's just dumb to me. I still would have much rather preferred them chop off a limb or at least give the lightsaber consequences. I feel like the less you do, like in that regard with the lightsaber, the less important the lightsaber is. So, if you get stabbed, I feel like it should do some damage for a while. And I understand it was just kind of jarring in some ways that it was like the next scene practically like she's basically okay. At least give it some time for her to heal, maybe even an episode. I felt like would have been a little more believable. But even that aside, people have come back from way worse. So again, I'm like in the middle of the road with that one. I think it cheapens things. And it's also like coming back from previous shows. Where people are just getting run through like multiple times and they're like, oh, I'm fine, dude. It doesn't even matter. It just tickles a little. And then I'm like, okay, well, it is a lightsaber. So, and again, swipe right. But could lead to the other point, which I like your theory on it, Dan. More about maybe it was on purpose. And Biz, I think, talked about that too. Yeah. But maybe it was on purpose. Maybe she didn't actually want to kill her. So there's that.
There's that.
So the mixed feeling going into this week's episode, for me, just starting it off, is faith in Filoni. I do have faith in Filoni. And the thing about Filoni is that especially with his animated shows, he always has a surprise in store for the most part. And for me, I'm kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. I don't feel like I can fully rate this season or even his, first directorial or whatever debut with all this live action until I've seen the whole season. So I'm reserving a lot of judgment. I'm still being as honest as possible with how I feel like it's going. I don't feel like everything's perfect, but again, the story I think is good. At least it's interesting. The story for the most part. It's just the pacing I have issues. There's a lot of different things, but there's a lot of theories that we got to get to. Sorry, I'm going way off here. Let's get back into it.
Where are we? What are you saying?
I know,
no,
right?
It's okay.
I'm sorry. Here,
it's all right. I mean, everybody. I'm just reading everybody in the chat as you're going, but you're right. I mean, it was a good first 2 episodes.
How are you feeling going into this episode?
Yeah, I'm actually very excited.
Okay.
Like, I feel a little bit tired, so like my energy isn't all 100% into the show, but I've been so hyped for Ahsoka as each day progressed near tonight.
Yeah.
So really, once I turn on those TV screens, once I turn on the TV and pull up Disney Plus, I'm going to be so excited because there have been a lot of theories, and after the first 2, it really opened up a whole new can of worms as to where we are going.
Yeah.
Literally galaxies opening up.
Yeah.
Realms of possibility. I loved seeing the villains. I just want to see more of the villains.
Oh, yeah.
I loved seeing Marok. I mean, and I guess it's, speaking of which, Star Killer, I don't know, but I did see, I think one of the chats, Bray Mew, is it Bray Mew's birthday today?
Is it Bray Mew's birthday?
Fact checker?
Yeah,
it is.
I think it is. Happy birthday, Bray Mew.
What a great day to have it on.
We love birthdays here
at
Stan Target. So happy birthday to you. And I think
thanks for joining us. What an honor it is for us that you joined us on your birthday. So happy birthday to you.
And Bree said, all I want for my birthday is a Star Killer reveal tonight. I know it would be cool.
I am right there with
Speaking of Star Killer theories, Dustin, I mean, that was a pretty good one. Yeah. Finally got it out there, eh?
Yeah, no, yeah. Man, we've been busy. It's tough to get these things. The funny thing is we recorded that 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And we just got it out recently.
More than that.
More than 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
It was like 2.5 weeks ago we recorded all of that footage. So it's just funny because then we keep seeing all these ones pop up. We're like, crap, we got to get it out.
Yeah, I know.
But we've been moving from studio to studio. There's just been a lot going on.
And we were like, what percentage of you? Because you're like, Ezra, maybe not. And you're like, Barris, maybe not. But then what percentage of you, after thinking about it, like, he's probably a throwaway. He's probably going to die in the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So then
I was actually like going into episode 1 and 2, I was more like, I feel like it's going to be a throwaway character because I was looking at the track record with Dave when it comes to Inquisitors. When he loves throwing in new Inquisitors and then killing them off in the first season, which still might happen, granted. But the fact that there's, I don't know, now there's this like weight behind it. Like, why are they not showing his face?
Yeah. And the voice.
Why are they? They're almost making him more important. He got the first fight with Ahsoka.
I know.
He survived.
That has to mean something.
Unless they're just building him up for a more dramatic win against her, like if Ahsoka might kill him off in this episode.
That's true. That's true. But there was also the Sam Witwer credit in the credits.
Yeah, which was new, and that's why we didn't cover it in that video because we recorded it literally like 3 weeks ago.
But then a lot of people online are like, well, that was his voice doing the grunt when he went, ugh. If you listen to it, they're like, it sounds like Starkiller Sam Witwer. And it wouldn't be Starkiller like vaporizing humans. Stormtroopers, right? It would be Starkiller.
He knows how to swipe right.
He doesn't mess around. Like these stabs, right? Somebody said that Starkiller got stabbed with a saber.
Yeah, actually, he did. To be fair,
did Cal Kestis get stabbed with a saber?
No, I don't believe Cal Kestis has.
Okay.
I mean, unless you're playing like a video game and you die, but then you come back. But no,
I see. No.
But Starkiller actually technically got stabbed with the lightsaber and then was released into space and still survived. So. There again, even in Legends, it's happened before. So yeah, we got to take that one. I think it's just the way that they did it in previous shows and the Disney shows is what's kind of getting people a little bit more like,
right? Because it was a pretty good fight up to that point. Clearly, Ahsoka or Sabine was having trouble already. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have to stab her. It's like it wasn't like she was already getting pretty much beat. You know, she was holding her own. She was trying. But I think. Well, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
But I think that battle, as I rewatched it, I'm like, she was in trouble. Like, you didn't have to stab her. And if you stabbed her to like, you know what I'm saying, to knock her out, to knock her down, I don't know.
Could have just like kicked her in the head.
Could have just, I feels like there was options because she was already like just Shin had the upper hand, that whole battle, that whole fight, and then obviously it threw her off when Ahsoka showed up, or when the ship started coming in, she got nervous and it's just like, I got to get out of here. But Bismo said, yes, Cal Kestis did get stabbed.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Stabbed by Vader in Fallen Order in a similar spot as Sabine. Forgot to mention in my video. Makes it make more sense.
Yeah. So, okay. I totally missed that. I forgot about that.
So we got Reva twice. We got the Grand Inquisitor, Cal Kestis, Starkiller, Sabine. I mean, pretty much if you're a main character in the Star Wars universe, you're going to get stabbed at some point and survive.
Except for Obi-Wan.
And Qui-Gon doesn't survive.
No, I know. We watched, I forget that dude's name.
That guy's
he comes
so
out
funny.
You guys would probably know him. He comes out with like the reaction videos of he's pretending to be, he deep fakes Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and like Anakin. And we watched that one of him reacting to the first 2 episodes. It was absolutely hilarious.
Oh, man.
I was dying.
So was I.
Not for kids. Definitely not for kids.
No.
But it was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You should check it out for sure. I mean, in the moment, I liked when because Anakin's in there sometimes. Yes. I'm Banana Danikin or whatever they call me.
Banana Dan? I thought it was...
It depends if I'm wearing yellow or if I'm burnt red.
Yeah, I thought it was Danikin the mannequin.
I look a little yellow today, but I'm kidding. But he was like, I'm going to have my great moment where he's going to show up and give Ahsoka some grand advice. And then he shows up at the end when she's hilarious. At the very end of episode 2 or the second episode of Ahsoka. And he's like just blathering on like, it was like nothing, completely wasted scene, as a Force ghost. But I hope we do see Anakin as a Force ghost. That would be amazing. Not in this episode, probably.
Right.
Because if it was going to happen, it'd probably be a moment that was like, I think really important.
Building up tension.
I feel like it's going to drop more like later half of the season.
That'd be so cool.
I feel like episode 5, maybe, possibly. Because I feel like I've heard some rumors out there too that like the first 4 episodes are kind of its own thing in some ways, and then the last 4 are almost its own, like kind of takes you on a different way, a different path. So, I think that's when he might come in. But also, before we get too much further, I know we already started talking about Marok, but what do you guys think? I want to know from everybody again. We kind of went over this last week, but I want to know again tonight. Who do you think Marok is? Okay, there's so many theories. I've heard some more, and I want to throw out real fast, even all the options. All right. There's so a new one that I've heard, which I actually find quite fascinating too, is maybe it's a cloned version of Luke.
Oh,
that is one theory I saw online. I forget who did it, and I should give them credit for it. But
they'd be taller.
Well, yeah, a little short for a stormtrooper. Actually, But so there's that actually kind of has some weight and merit to it in some ways that it could. But then there's also, there's still Ezra, there's Kanan, there's Barriss still. I still hear people talking about Barriss out there.
Yeah,
Starkiller and Petro. There's a lot of different people that could potentially be. Also, a new character. It could be a totally new character.
Yeah,
so.
Bree Mew said, did you guys see the Den of Nerds using Vong theory?
Yes,
at all?
I did.
Yeah.
And that was one of the topics I wanted to discuss tonight. But let me know in the chat, though, first. Who do you think Marok is? Dan, I want to know from you. How are you feeling on Marok?
You know, I lean towards Starkiller after your latest, dropped video. It still could be Ezra.
Especially with Sam.
But
Sammy
after
boy.
seeing the first 2 episodes and seeing kind of the peril, and they're really worried about Ezra, I would be kind of weird. It would be a shocker, though. That's what I thought originally. I'm like, well, what a shocker to have that guy, there. And then, Ahsoka did have a moment and she looked at him as he jumped on the ship, But I couldn't tell because Ahsoka, I just couldn't tell if she was into it or not. Like it was something special, like the scene that I missed when Balin looked up at the sky and he saw or heard space whales.
I missed that. My wife saw that.
Yeah, I missed that until, the second watch, and I watch people on. So, there's stuff like that that's happening.
Purgle.
But I think Starkiller would be cool because of Sam Witwer being in the credits. That was for me, that put it over the 99%. It would just make sense as the description they already gave of Starkiller or as Marok. As a previous Inquisitor, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
They don't have to change that.
Right.
Like Ezra was not a previous Inquisitor. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Stuff like that. So I'm just going I'm more like 90% it's Starkiller.
Wow, 90. Going hard. Wow, okay.
Yep.
And I see in the chat, Josh from Nerdvenger, I believe. He did have a great theory, and I do want to get to that. And also, Bismil had a great theory, too. I just want to throw that out there. Bismil was going to remind me. So definitely go check that theory out as well. But fact checker, who do you think is going to be? I got to hear from you.
Okay, well, I'm getting more and more convinced that it's Starkiller.
Oh, wow.
That would be cool, I think. But I'd be fine, honestly. Just
If he
finding out who it is.
Yeah.
I just want to know. So whoever it is, just make him a interesting character.
Yeah. I just hope they don't pull a Ray thing.
Right.
We speculated for years
I know.
on who Ray was.
Starkiller.
To no avail. Literally no avail. It was the worst for me. It was the absolute worst way they could have gone. I would have preferred almost anything. I almost would have preferred her not to be related to anybody over being a Palpatine.
Because they led the opening trailer with, "Who are you?" And she's like, "No one. I'm no one."
No one. Yeah,
so they gave you that tease. It'd be like if they gave us Merrick, like, "Well, who are you, Merrick?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm no one." And you're like, "Okay, well, now we gotta know if you say you're a Noah." So they led with that. That's why we speculated.
Yeah, for sure. I know.
Obi-Wan's kid, but
yeah, I think it would have been so much more of a payoff if it was Obi-Wan's kid for me. I still really liked Rey being what's it? Kenobi. Wow, I just lost it. It's a live show. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, for me, I'm still sticking with my Merrick theory. The Luke one's creeping up on me a little bit, but I do still think it's Starkiller. Mostly because I want it to be Starkiller at this point. I just find that would be so satisfying to me.
even a clone Starkiller.
Even a clone Starkiller could be.
Yeah.
And there could still be a good Starkiller out there, only evil. Because, I mean, that's really what the armor is kind of based off of in some ways, is his Night Stalker armor, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
Shoot, the chat will definitely
I think you're right
me on that. But
that was in Andor.
Or Stalker, Sith Stalker, is that what it is?
It's something like that. I think you're right.
He's a creeper. It's just Stalker.
They are.
I see you. All right. But yeah, I don't know. I hope it's somebody at this point. Now
it is someone.
It is someone.
We've
but I
already
don't know.
seen him. Come
I
on.
know, but I just mean, like, I hope it's someone more than just a throwaway character. You know, we've done so much speculating that it just would be disappointing if it wasn't anybody special. Like, slightly, even if it's like a tiny special person, like whoever, I don't know, Petro would be better than nobody. Who knows?
Quick question for you. So he threw the lightsaber, it zipped by.
Yeah.
And it flew past. Was that a force pull or was that like a boomerang?
He had a string attached to it.
I don't know. Those Inquisitor blades do weird things. They're helicopters. They fly now.
They fly now. Oh,
so
that's terrible.
that's what I'm saying. So was that force pulling? So
Yes,
that means he is
definitely-
force sensitive.
yeah, he's
Because some of the
definitely
other
force
Inquisitors were not force sensitive.
No, they were all force
Were they?
sensitive, just not nearly to the level I
Okay.
believe as a true Jedi, somebody who's truly trained.
I don't remember the Grand Inquisitor using a lot of the force, but I may be just forgetting.
They weren't as proficient, I believe, in the Force as others, but yeah, they definitely still use the Force. And I think part of the reason they weren't is because a lot of them were Jedi that turned to the dark side in a way, but it didn't like fully commit. They committed, but didn't. So I feel like it kind of zapped their power in a lot of ways. What are you laughing about? Tell me, was there a hilarious comment?
Well, there's a bunch of hilarious comments, but Sith Stalker, Braymuth confirmed.
Sith Stalker, thank you.
It's
Should we even
Hunter
say it?
says Dan has too much editing time for Merrick to be a nobody. This is
so
true. That's
true.
why I laughed about that.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
And Dustin's got a lot of
what did
time.
everybody say in the chat? Did they say in the chat who?
Yeah, well, I did a
poll.
throw
What's
a
the poll?
out
Yeah,
there.
finish it.
So, okay, you want me to end it?
Oh, I don't care.
Finish it.
Finish it. Okay.
I want to see.
And 3, 2, 1. Everybody
Boom.
else. Just kidding.
Yeah. Boom.
Okay.
What's up?
Oh, okay.
What's up,
So,
Dustin
yeah.
Witherall? Thanks for joining, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A Dustin? Another Dustin?
man.
Oh, this is
Dustin
getting
is
Twilight-ish.
Or Senator Palpatine.
I am
Yes.
Pouts.
His
That's what
clone.
Bismo was saying earlier.
Was he?
Yeah.
What was he saying? That biz?
We'll have to scroll back. But
He all up in my business.
he was throwing shade right back, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, he said Dustin's too. He could be a Sith. He could be like Nick would be
Sith in
the easy
disguise.
pull Sith. Like
Yeah.
Nick's probably evil, but he's like Dustin's like
The secret
Palpatine. Like,
one, yeah.
come on, everybody,
Yeah,
it's all good.
I'm good. And then I pulled the what was it the other week when I wanted to destroy a whole worlds and planets?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hannah says this is getting out of hand. Now there's two of them.
Now
Hunter, duel to the death. Dustins.
So wait, is this the real Dustin in front of us?
Maybe, I
The
don't
hair's different. Are we in a?
know. I might have a
alternate
twin.
Universe?
Nobody would know. You guys might,
Multiverse.
but
That would be fascinating.
no, that's good stuff. So what'd the poll say though with the Marok? I want to know.
Okay, so 47% say it's Merrick Starkiller.
Yes. We have convinced them somewhat.
You're building that convincing for sure.
It's gonna be nobody.
It could be. And then 41% another character.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
5 and 5 say Ezra or someone else. I know some people are saying hopefully just a new person.
Just a new person
Yeah.
altogether. Yeah. I mean I'm fine with that too, but kind of not. But
One thing's for sure is like I got faith in Filoni to bring it.
yeah.
Whatever he makes him as, I think it'll work out because he just doesn't put characters in and throw them away. He can,
Right.
but even if he does, then it's just a throw. He
Well-
wouldn't lead with him in the trailer.
Case in point, I'd say case in point to thinking things are a throwaway, Purgle.
Exactly.
I mean, when we were watching Rebels,
know.
we were like, what the crap is this space
Yeah.
whales thing?
know.
Man, like, what?
What in the like? People ripped on that.
They
Like,
did,
They
hardcore.
shredded that in the thing, and I was like, it's fine. It's just
And then
because everything up to that point was amazing, and then like Purgle showed up. People just like, what a waste of an episode.
yeah,
Who in the
such
heck?
filler?
Yeah. Little did we know that he's building like
Yeah, then he,
a form of travel, intergalaxy travel.
yeah, to a whole nother galaxy. And the funny thing is, at the end of Rebels, we all got Purgle tentacles slapped in the face
I know.
by Dave
Ouch.
Filoni because
That's the
we
way.
were like, wait, what?
Yeah.
These are significant characters.
Hugely significant.
It was crazy. But I think that's a good segue. Even going, did you have something else, fact checker?
No.
Oh, sorry, you had a look on your face
Oh, sorry.
that looked like you had something.
Oh, nope.
Okay,
Snoke.
Snoke.
Oh no.
Is Marok Snoke?
Is Marok
okay?
Snoke.
I feel like that's a possibility. It could be Snoke.
I wasn't leading that way.
Cloned
So-
Han Solo with the Force. Now we're just throwing things out there. Oh man, we got a super chat from Hunter Davis. Thank you, Hunter Davis. He's always on target here with us, basically keeping the lights on for us at this point, and we appreciate him very much. The Sith Apprentice. He's just awesome. I love that guy. But thank you. We appreciate it. But yeah, speaking of transitions, this is a hard transition into the other one, which is the theory that Nerdventure came out with Josh. It was a great one, man. And I know he pulled it from a few different places, people, but also just in his brain. Like he was going hardcore into this, which was, I'll give a little brief synopsis of it. Is that Dave Filoni? So there's throwaway episodes, not thrown away, but basically discarded episodes because they couldn't finish them for the Clone Wars, and he actually had a sketch of like a Yuzhong Vong. And to let you guys know who the Yuzhong Vong are, the Yuzhong Vong is a race that came from outside of the galaxy, and they were like, they hated technology, and they were like super resistant to the Force. Like they didn't have the Force. They were like negative Force entities basically, and they were super hard to kill. And like the Jedi had a really tough time with them, and they were all like biological, but they just came in from like galaxy to galaxy and just like took it over, like destroyed. And so Dave Filoni had a sketch for the Yuzhong Vong for one of those episodes that they were working on. And so basically, Nerd Avenger's theory is, what if we're getting to some sort of Yuzhong Vong, which might be the Grisk, because the Grisk, I think, is basically like the updated or the canon version of the Yuzhong Vong, which has been introduced into the Thrawn Ascendancy trilogy.
Okay.
And because he's tied it together with that, basically the Grisk are like the outside threat coming to the galaxy. And that's why Thrawn actually came to the Empire, was to help prepare us and to help save his homeworld from the Grisk. He's playing, 4D chess in a lot of ways.
Well, that's Thrawn.
That's Thrawn, dude. So they're wondering, his theory was, what if the Purrgil are actually the scouts for the Yuzhong Vong / Grisk, or the Rakatans, which that's the other part. I'll say this real fast. The Rakatan Empire, they were like an ancient empire. It was in KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, and they were also outside invaders coming in, but they're like basically ancient beings. They were like super strong in the Force, and they built a lot of the stuff that was set up in the Star Wars galaxy. And they were also referenced, I think, as the builders. But they would take over, and I think a long time ago in KOTOR anyway, they had to fight off the Rakatan Empire. So people are speculating that it might be the Rakatans that we're going to meet in the new galaxy. And that's what he was saying.
And the Rakatans, I think I heard him say that they destroy a Mandalorian Beskar.
Oh yeah, they melt it.
Their weapons like destroy, and so when they attack the Mandalorians, they've destroyed and completely conquered Mandalore multiple times because they just destroy their arm. Like they have almost no way of defending.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know that in the history, in the lore, but that's fascinating.
And he went even deeper into it. You definitely go check out his video on it. It was there was a lot going on. I think it was a live stream he did, I believe. And then he also talked about it on Nerd Theory with him and Theory and Star Wars Theory. And they went into it a little bit too, but he definitely went in deep on it. It was fun to listen to, and I was having a good time, because that's what I really enjoy about. That's what I've been enjoying so far so much about the Ahsoka show. Yeah, is the amount of speculation that we can have, and with Dave Filoni, I do feel like there's going to be a payoff. Yeah. Like with a lot of these other shows, we had like crazy theories, and we've coming up with a lot of this stuff to not much of a payoff. I mean, Bowden, Dimbo, that didn't really pay off for us in a lot of ways. So it was definitely rough for us. But hey, we got another super chat. Yeah. Bremu. We'll read it off here. Woo! Didn't know you guys had super chats on. Yuzhong Vong spooked me bad when I was a kid reading. But hope it's true.
No joke, but
no joke. Okay, sorry.
I think that's what it is.
No
but
joke.
Hope it's true. Wow. Okay.
Thank you, Bremu, for that super chat. We appreciate it. And yes, the Yuzhong Vong are like some of the freakiest. Yeah, really? They were super freaky, dude.
Okay.
And what happened with I won't go in too much, but
by the way, happy birthday again, Bremu.
Yeah, happy birthday again. That's, we should be giving you $5.
Super sweet. Maybe we should sing at the end of the show or something.
At least a Wookiee cookie.
At least a Wookiee cookie.
Send a Wookiee cookie, something. Happy birthday, Bremu.
Yeah, that's
Thank
awesome.
Thank you so much. But yeah. What do you guys think? What do you think about that theory?
Oh, I love it actually, because it brings out it just kind of it makes my head explode. I'm like, you think in the galaxy is big enough in the Star Wars universe. All of a sudden, it gets way bigger.
Oh yeah.
Because now you're talking about outside forces invading this galaxy, because Thrawn is so freaked out about the Yuzhong Vong or whoever that is, the Grisk or whoever it is, coming and destroying all of the Chiss, because Thrawn is a Chiss person first, right? He wants his race, his species to stay alive. And so he wants to use the Empire. I mean, but it makes you I love perspective like this that just twists your head around, because we're stuck on this. And even in the real world now, we're like, oh, the sequels weren't quite there, blah, blah. And now it kind of it deletes that possibly.
Written down,
and it also opens up Thrawn's motivations. You almost I feel bad for Thrawn is doing the right thing. It's like a Thanos thing where you're like, dude, I get why he's trying to do this.
Yeah.
If we defeat Thrawn, all of a sudden the Yuzhong Vong show up and just destroy everything that we know on this planet,
And we're like, we need Thrawn. He's a bad dude in some ways, but what's worse?
He's using the Empire's bad. Evil? The Empire's bad in this universe, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's also how the Yuzhong Vong came in, was they sent their scouts in, but they didn't want to attack until the galaxy was at its weakest point. And the time that it was at its weakest point was after the Empire was destroyed or dismantled. That's when the Yuzhong Vong attacked. Not too long afterwards, after Thrawn, is whenever they attacked the Grisk.
Gotcha.
And so that's why he's kind of setting it up in a lot of ways. And it's just crazy, though, even that theory that it goes back all the way back to then.
Yeah.
And there's even more to it. I'm forgetting some of it now. But there was a lot more he went into. And
well, the drawings he was talking about for travel look just like the Purrgil. Like the ships,
similar, not exactly, but
similar.
From the front, yeah, they look very similar.
And there were certain drawings that he showed, and then the fact that they said that this was potentially going to be in Rebels season 5. Remember that how they said that this was all hand drawn, or every single like episode was of this show, Ahsoka. It was like drawn out by Filoni.
Yeah,
and then they were saying that originally he was going to do it Rebels 5. Way back, like 5 years ago,
but then
and it didn't work out because they turned on Mando. They basically turned, and they're like, "We're going to do Mandalorian for Disney Plus. We want a live action." So then he put all his thoughts into that. Paused this that he already had building for 5. So he's been potentially planning this universe expansion
for a long.
You think he talked to Lucas about that? He probably got his feedback.
Yeah,
Iñaki said that Lucas didn't like the Yuzhong Vong because they blocked the Force.
Yeah, he didn't really love them as much. And this is a bunch of like legend stuff. But I think it's super smart, though, for Dave Filoni to bring in legends. Why not give the fans that like grew up on this stuff, the fans and people that haven't discovered it yet? That's why I was so like, they should have gone to the Thrawn trilogy immediately. Episode 7, 8, and 9 should have been
because it would have fit into this anyway, right?
You would have had built-in fans. Built-in fans for the Star Wars universe with the Thrawn trilogy. B, it's a perfect continuation of after Episode 6, in my opinion. It brings in a totally new villain, but still feels relevant and interesting, and different enough.
Yeah.
But I think they really missed the mark there. But what's the chat saying? I know we haven't got to the chat too much, but what are they all talking about here?
Bree commented against it. I don't think Purrgil are the drone ships, but maybe 1 or 2 are, or they are pulling information from them.
Okay, they could be. Yeah,
so maybe Bree's a good resource.
Drone scouts.
She might be a good resource, or for the Yuzhong Vong. I don't know.
Yeah,
I got a lot to learn.
There's a lot.
And Hannah says Purrgils being drone ships has the same vibe as birds being government drones.
Oh, there you go.
It does.
I mean, does that have anything to do with Marach? Could Marach be from somewhere else?
It totally might. He could be.
Balin?
But technically. Well, the weird thing, though, with Balin looking up at the Purrgil is, does he know something that we don't when it comes to
that other world,
that other galaxy? Has he already experienced something with this? I mean, what else does he know? That's the interesting thing here.
Well, and he said
power beyond you could ever dream.
Yeah, you could ever dream.
What would that be? I mean,
what is it? What is that? Because he's legitimately was a Jedi. Yes. He was there through the Purge, right?
Yeah.
So,
I had a weird theory about that even.
Maybe power bound, because maybe then in this other place, the Empire doesn't exist and you don't have that battle. You know what I'm saying? Because in this galaxy, you're constantly, even now that the Empire's been destroyed, you got the New Republic, which clearly has issues.
Right.
They're basically Imperial, half Imperial.
Yeah.
We know that from multiple shows, Mandalorian included. And here we are, like, it's just a big mess, so maybe that's why. You get a fresh, clean start. Maybe the force powers that they can learn over there or use.
Right, which
because they've talked about that.
There's a lot of rumors going around.
That was like leaks and stuff, right? But
yeah, leaks and rumors that like basically Ezra is going to have totally new force powers, and he's going to be basically like wielding the force like a what was they were saying like a Kamehameha from Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z, yeah, like shooting out
Kamehamehas. That's what it is. I'm sorry.
Hadoukens, like Ryu, and
but like because he also doesn't have his lightsaber, so it kind of makes more sense that he's relying more on the Force.
Yeah,
as like, but also like karate. He's like doing like force karate or something like that. Which I also was thinking about this, and I was like, that does make a lot of sense for the fact that Dave Filoni also worked on Avatar: The Last Airbender. What's the main character in that show? Is Aang. And Aang uses the power of wind, which what's the Force act like in a lot of ways? It was basically like wind in a lot of ways. It's not exactly the
Yeah.
same, but I'm like, is he basically taking Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender in some ways and putting that same style
Why
and
not?
fight and Force ability into Ezra? It makes a lot of sense to me.
Ezra's becoming Aang.
He kind of is.
I mean, and it's Filoni's show, right? He was
Last Avatar Ezra.
the last Avatar. We got
Call
to
it
do
here
that
first, everybody. Call it here first.
You heard it here, yeah. Oh man, hey, Robert Jew joined us. What's up, Robert? How's it
What's
going?
up, Robert G?
Yes, time is going too slow. He says.
I know we're
Yeah.
getting
We
there.
got 12 minutes. We're filling this time, man.
Well, yeah,
12
we're-
minutes.
we
No,
got 14 minutes.
I can't read. It looked like an 8.
It did. No, yeah, it does. It's small.
Yeah, we had a couple of people. Inyaki said it'll be wild if the Grisk appear later in the show.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel. Which, speaking of which, let's talk a little bit about tonight.
Okay.
Tonight's episode.
What
What
do
do
you
we
think you're
think
gonna
is going to
see?
happen
Yeah.
in tonight's episode? They did drop a little trailer earlier. What do you think we're going to get into? It's about 30 some minutes. I feel like it's going to
Yep.
be pretty action packed.
Do you
We're going to get into things.
Are we going to
So,
see? Well, we're going to go to that planet that they were on at the end, where she was doing some of the Night
shoot,
Sister
what
stuff.
was that called? That was oh man, I just lost it.
When-
In fact, the fact checker, if you can look it up for me. Also, I'm sure the chat will let us know too.
Oh,
Hannah-
yeah, the
And Hannah said, "Stop dropping trailers."
I know they dropped like 3
yeah,
today.
That was
I was like,
fun.
holy
I
cow,
know.
calm down.
I mean,
Is it Arcana?
No,
No,
it
oh,
was started with,
sorry.
I think it was S or
Bree said, "Fighting, probably not much more." To be honest, Icy,
Yeah.
I have a feeling this will be the Shin versus Sabine and Merrick versus. That's what I'm thinking. It's going to be that duel. We're going to see the space battle too because they got on the ship and they're taking
Yeah.
off. So we're going to see some space battle,
yeah, definitely because they dropped that in the trailer today.
and then they're going to land,
which is
and
interesting.
then they're going to fight again.
They showed Marok in one of those ships. I didn't realize that.
Oh.
In that trailer, they showed Marok in. I have to say it that way.
I know you
'Cause
have
every
to.
other time I want to say Merrick, which is how
That's how you did it. In the
constantly
thing.
said it
Yeah.
every other time until they said it in the show. Now it's Marok.
Oh, Cetos.
Cetos, yeah.
Cetos. Okay.
Cetos or Cetos.
Yeah, sorry.
Cetos. Yeah. Or Cetos. I don't know. However you say it. I'm sure they'll say it tonight. But
It's only 30 minutes though, dude. How are they going to fit all these fights in?
so I think it might end on another cliffhanger into
It's going to be the fights. Maybe
it's going to be I think it's going to be almost like a 2-episode arc. But I
Okay.
think it's either going to end off with them like the Eye of Sion going into hyperspace or like jumping away. I feel like either this episode or next episode are going to end that way. I feel like we're going to get space battles in this one. They're going to make it to the planet and potentially Balin and Ahsoka are going to fight
Oh, yeah.
while Sabine and Shin are fighting.
That's
I'm
what-
not sure how Marok, he must come in later or before, or maybe they have to go through those two before they get to Balin. That could be.
Robert G agrees with you that he thinks this will be the first Balin fight.
I hope so, man. I
That would be
That would
so
be
cool.
good. Yeah.
cannot wait to learn.
I want to see Balin and Shin.
I'm pumped about
John Pope had some hot takes. John Pope jumped in, by the way.
What's
And
up,
we
John
had
Pope?
a podcast. What was it? The something podcast jumping in earlier.
The Legionnaires.
The Legionnaire podcast.
Legionnaire.
Yeah,
Thanks
thanks
for
for
jumping
jumping
in,
in.
guys.
Yeah, and John said didn't like the first episodes too much for several reasons. It made
Yeah.
Sabine force sensitive. She was perfect as is. Maybe they made Sabine a stoic, whiny teenager. This
yeah,
is
she's
John's
like 30 something.
the complete opposite of character in Rebels. Too many long pauses. Character shows no emotion. They recreate the final scene from Rebels and somehow mess it up. Ahsoka didn't have her staff and a different cloak. The lighting was super dark.
I still have a theory on that.
The plot and MacGuffin figure out how to use it and takes you right to where you need to be. Same as the Rise of Skywalker. I mean, we were
yeah.
kind of on that same train
Yeah.
last week in our review, John. To be honest, I mean, we've come around. I think
Oh.
Sabine is well cast. Have
I
you
still
come
feel,
around?
I still feel pretty much the same way.
I feel.
for
I mean,
both.
yeah, he's on the same train with us. So, thanks for those thoughts, John. But
They definitely are
It's-
pulling inspiration from a lot of different things.
I think the characters are settling in. I think Sabine's got a lot of room to grow. I think.
They all do.
I
I
still
don't
like-
want them to be whining and catty at each other.
that's the thing. It's
Yeah.
really kind of irritating me. Like we leave off Rebels in such a good way with
Yeah.
them like feeling so much more mature
Right.
and like well established and like, okay, sweet. They're coming into their own and let's go. I know they're trying. It feels like they're forcing this like catty relationship between them just to give the show again some arc or something. But I feel like
making you wonder what happened
Yep.
in the year since.
but I don't.
Yeah,
feel
and,
like
and
we-
for people that haven't
don't-
seen
Yeah,
Rebels,
I
they have to
guess.
give them
Yeah.
some kind of vibe so that the vibe changes, and all of a
Yes.
sudden now they're. But at the same time, you could just jump right in. Why
No.
mess up the cloak? Why mess up the staff?
which I feel like in
Focus
some
on the
ways
bad guys.
I feel like some
Yeah.
ways because Dave Filoni is not the guy that normally misses stuff like that. And maybe he changed it a little bit, like he changed the Leku.
There's got to be a reason.
But it's a little different because he's talked about Gandalf the Grey versus Gandalf the White.
Right.
And potentially it could be another world between worlds situation.
That would be amazing.
Maybe Ahsoka realizes that things went south because she came into this universe when she wasn't supposed to be there. And she shows up as Ahsoka the White, realizing her mistakes that she made in the past and to make better choices this time with the world between worlds or whatever's going to happen. And then she shows up again in that same scene, but this time it's going to go differently. It could be the end of the show, actually, or something, or the beginning half of, or the very end of the show where it's like episodes 7 and 8. It could be like that, or it could be 5, 6, 7, and 8, where she's like Gandalf the White, Ahsoka the White. I don't know. That's a theory I have.
Yeah,
Otherwise, if they screw that up, then I'm not going to be happy.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why I got faith in Filoni. But go ahead, fact checker.
Oh, just John Pope has another good take. How the heck does anyone know where Thrawn is? He and Ezra were sucked deep into deep space. How does an ancient map know or point
exactly
where he
planet.
is? The map was made before Thrawn disappeared.
There are things that have not been quite.
But he's
explained.
communicating through time and space.
Yes, through time and space, which is a really weird.
What's up with the galaxy jumping? What's up with the world between worlds? I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. Filoni's got a lot of explaining to do.
Yeah, I hope he sticks to landing. That's the thing. I have faith in Filoni right now.
And
we're on episode 1 and 2,
right.
But he's got lots of explaining to do for me to be fully committed and to like really praise it. You know,
we want magnificence. We really do. Like we know that he's building something, and it's going to be amazing. And he's more than capable. And so he's not throwing away stuff. He's not putting stuff out there for no reason.
Oh, and Night Sky is a good take here.
Okay.
Prophecy, maybe it could be a prophecy for the fact that it shows it was pointing to that because of that time and that era.
Prophecy worthy,
and what's supposed to happen, especially with the Night Sister involved.
Yeah.
That could translate from time and space because it was a prophecy held thousands of years ago that maybe the Griswolds are going to come in, and one of the saviors of this galaxy is Thrawn or Ezra coming back to protect us against the Grisk.
Yep.
That would be a prophecy that could be fulfilled.
Yeah,
that's a good take. I mean, he better explain that well. But
well, and like Icy said, we want quality over quantity.
Yeah,
definitely.
So, even if it's a short run time.
Yeah, I kind of hope that tonight's going to be better just for the fact that it is shorter. Because for episode 1 and 2, the pacing was all just off for me. Just not good, in my personal opinion. It was, like I said, the story, I feel like it's still there for the most part.
Yeah.
The MacGuffins I don't love. There's a lot of negatives about this, but I still like it
still positive overall.
And it's Dave Filoni, so I'm like definitely giving him the benefit of the doubt, and I feel like he's going to deliver, and I really hope so. But it's like, you got to still win me over.
For me, like a 10-second hot take, I did not like the first Lord of the Rings episode. Just the regular Lord of the Rings. Like, what was it called? The movie?
Fellowship of the Ring.
I didn't really like the Fellowship. I felt like they were setting up so much. They were just constantly like walking places. For me, they were just setting stuff up. For me, it took off into Two Towers and it took off in Return of the King. Because then we knew who they were.
But you liked the first episode, the first 2 of these?
No, so I felt the same way about these two.
Okay.
But I like these because I want an hour. I want to bask for an hour. I want to bask for an hour in each one of the Rebels characters in live action.
Okay,
I want a special movie just watching Sabine like be moody because she's sad that Ezra's gone, you know?
Yeah, I mean they could have delivered that better, I feel like, yeah.
No, but I want to see all of those characters. So I was okay. That's what I was torn, right? I'm like, I want more, but I'm okay with what I'm getting. So I was in the middle. But there's still a lot of setup.
And you're letting Dave Filoni tell you the story in a lot of ways. And just trusting and believing that he's going to do a good job.
Yeah, sorry, Bismarck. I mean, it's true that Fellowship of the Rings. Now, I went back and watched Fellowship of the Rings after watching all 3, and I approached it. I also watched the extended edition. I just felt like there's too many cuts. They were just all over the place. They're introducing these people, and they're introducing these people.
For the Fellowship?
The first time I saw Fellowship.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I know this is a massive movie. But that's my opinion.
Yes. And the chat is calling you out on it, but you're welcome to your opinion.
That's hilarious to me, though, in some ways.
Yeah, see, and I like the Lord of the Rings. It's like,
who are you?
Star Wars, yeah.
I don't even know
you. have no idea who I am. But
we just went Rings on Target there for a minute. Rings on Target. New show. Going to be dropping.
That's right.
Oh,
right.
Dear,
That's right.
Promise.
But
not promise. I'm joking.
I'm relating Star Wars to Lord of the Rings because those are the 2 top in my book. So that's all you need to
This
know.
one's a good take. He says, "You are entitled to your opinion, but man, sad crying."
What would Nick say?
No,
That
but
it's
overall,
wrong?
they still convinced you, though, is your point, though. Your main point, though, is that you felt like it struggled a little bit off the gate, but then they
I mean, the
definitely
whole
delivered.
package. It's an amazing trilogy.
Yeah, and when you
The
look
whole
back on it,
yeah.
when you look back, and
Exactly.
I agree with you, and I feel like that's how I'm feeling with this show so
Right.
far. It's like
Right.
it's not off to the greatest start for me, but it's not bad enough for me to be like, okay, this is garbage. I'm not
Right.
watching anymore, which I'm still going to watch it,
Right.
even if it's a train wreck.
Right.
But I can't fully judge it until we see where Dave goes.
See, but I watched Lord of the Rings also. I never read the books. And most other people read the books.
And
What?
That's what Embry's and
Right. And so, but I
Our
came
Sharp
into
Law, they're
Ahsoka.
saying
I read all the books. I watched all the
That's so
Rebels.
funny.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I knew all these characters. I've read everything that I can, all these characters. You know, so I have a different opinion. So I can live
Meat's
with
back on the menu, boys.
Meat's back on the menu.
I love it.
Well, you only have
Mando's back on the menu. But
3 minutes.
we got three. We only
3
got
minutes. Whoa.
3 minutes, baby, before we get the show going. So we're going to start wrapping it up here. Any last minute hot takes before we get out of here? I know we didn't even touch on things. One of the things I want to talk about was who's Shin Hati? Is it Balin's daughter? I know Star Wars Theory came out with that. I really like that idea. It made a lot of sense to me. I threw out a goofy one out there that was like maybe World Between Worlds, Asajj Ventress, but then I feel like she'd definitely know a Night Sister type.
Yeah.
But I think the Balin's daughter one's a very interesting take.
I do too.
On that. Also, we didn't even go into it too much, but do we think they're going to avoid the sequel trilogy by going into this
World
totally
Between
different
Worlds,
galaxies?
yeah,
I think
or-
it's a genius move
I think so.
for the fact that how do you get away from that? You go somewhere totally different, and we're
Right.
stuck there, or we're there for all of the sequel trilogy. I mean, that's why they're gone. That's why none of these characters are in, other than although I thought Hera's there, but maybe she doesn't go with them. That could be one of the plot points. I think it's a genius move. It's a way for us, in some ways, Star Wars to get away from itself, so
Yeah.
that it could introduce new things, new characters, and get us invested into a totally new thing that I feel like Disney Star Wars has to do.
Yeah.
Because they've screwed up so much so far. I feel like
It
they
gives them
need
a
to
whole
either
new
screw
sandbox.
up a whole nother galaxy in some ways, or make it awesome. All right, sorry, that was my little rant. We're almost out.
Yeah.
What else? We got more coming in. I'm just rapid firing here. What else?
Ryan Sharpman had to take off.
right.
Right? I think.
Thanks.
Thanks for jumping in.
Yeah,
People
man.
do miss Matt and Nick.
They
so
do miss Matt and
hopefully
Nick. They'll be
back.
hopefully back. At least some of them will be back tomorrow.
Yes,
Hopefully.
for sure. With our
And,
total review, it's going
yeah.
to be a fun time.
Check back tomorrow night at 8:00. We'll be here for several hours talking and breaking down episode 3.
Yeah,
We had a lot to get through last week with 2 episodes, but we only got 1. It's only a half hour. So let's see. Skylark Ahsoka's going to use the World Between Worlds to delete the sequels. Yeah, I mean, there you go. And / the galaxy hopping. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we're excited about because it opens up that Shin being the daughter. That's fascinating to me as
Yeah.
opposed to like a straight
I
up
like it.
apprentice.
Also, we haven't seen Anakin yet. Anakin
Yep.
might show up at some point. I don't think he's going to show up in this episode or even the next one.
I want to
But
see more
could.
Chopper.
Jason could
Jason.
pop in this one.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a possibility.
I don't think we're going to get any new characters in this one. I
Yeah.
don't think we're going to see Thrawn today. I don't think we're going to see Ezra.
Right.
I don't think.
I don't think this one. I think we're going to be second half. At
Yeah,
least.
I think we're just going to continue with the
these
characters that we
are
have.
established.
Yeah,
we need
and
to learn more about them.
We do, and we
But-
need to know. We need to see more battles.
We're pretty much out. We're pretty much out
Okay.
of time. So
All right.
check out all our things out there. We got Instagram. We got our merch store. So check that out. Support us. We appreciate every single one of you. Thanks for being here tonight with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. Tell your frenemies about us. And just remember that with all of us together, we can make Star Wars better. You got one last thing, fact checker?
I better not say it's a leak. So
Okay,
nope.
we weren't not going to leak it now.
All right, no leaks. Have fun.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in with us tonight.
It's been fun. Yeah.
We'll catch you tomorrow. Same time, same place. It's going to be great. Peace. See ya.
See ya.
Purgles slap hard. Soka!